Week 6 in the CFL set to wrap here in Edmonton on a beautiful Sunday night with Commonwealth Stadium hosting the first half of a home-and-home between the Elks and REDBLACKS. Ottawa rolls in after a loss in Winnipeg against the Blue Bombers. Edmonton on the other side coming off a bye week and still trying to get one of their bigger weapons going.
Well, to say that two-time CFL All-Star Gino Lewis has been underutilized is a gross understatement. He has in 4 games 177 yards, and in his first game with the Elks last year he had 148. So they got to get him involved, and the same can be said for Dom Rhymes on the other side. Speaking of underutilized All-Stars, REDBLACKS have one of their own in 4 games, just 121 yards. Which All-Star has the breakout game first?
Obviously, one of them could be just around the corner. Bob Dice, 0-2 on the road this season. 500 start to the year, but winless on the road. And on the other side, Chris Jones, 0-4, coming off a bye week over the last 2 years since he's been back as head coach of this team. They will look to not lose a close one today. Boy, Edmonton has lost some close football games. Yeah. The 2 losses that the REDBLACKS had, they trailed by 29 at some point in each of those games. Edmonton's been losing some close ones, but win or lose tonight if they fall to 0-5. Disastrous start to the year again for Edmonton. Ottawa sitting at 2-2. A win here today will put them 1 game above 500 as we are set to get rolling on a Sunday evening in Edmonton. And Boris Beatty gets us underway with the kickoff. And this will be taken just outside the 10. Brought back by Harris. And he stopped just shy of the 25.
So starting quarterback Drew Brown for the REDBLACKS was knocked out of the game in Winnipeg early. He had just attempted 6 passes at that point, and Dustin Crum finished that game. But when you look at his numbers, 2-2, completing just shy of 60% of his throws, and has 5 plays of the big play nature. And that's where Dominic Rhymes can really help, because he can get down the field and blow the top off the defense. So if Drew Brown can get him involved, it bodes well for the REDBLACKS.
One of those guys that you can just throw it up for. They start on their own 26. Brown turns, time in the pocket, dumps it off to the outside. That is running back who flared out. Big part of this offense and what they're building so far here in Ottawa.
Drew Desjardins and Darius Bladek are going to have the first chance to play against Sean Oakman. They probably played against him before when he was in Toronto. We'll get to the starting defense in Edmonton in a second, but Oakman is part of it for the first time this year. And there's Dom Rhymes. They just got to get him going. 10 catches in 4 games. Just not enough for an all-star player like that.
7 yards on that first catch of the ball game, and this one's going to be stopped short. I believe it'll be 3rd and short as the Elks defense closes up a hole there on Armstead, who's had a big impact early in the season here for Ottawa.
Just been watching Drew Brown just at the start of this game, past all the protocols. There's starting to set the tone physically with that big run. It's not a big run yardage wise, but you want to be the hammer, not the nail.
All right, so this is interesting. Bob Dice had sent out Leone and his punt team, but then when the ball was spotted only about half a yard away, decides to bring them back off, gets Dustin Crum into the game on short yardage, 3rd and inches, basically on their own 36, pushing ahead, and he's got it. That secondary push easily covered it against his Edmonton defense.
Yeah, so signing this week for the Edmonton Elks, Sean Oakman adds some leadership to this defensive group, and maybe that's what they need to start to finish games. You mentioned how close they've been. Derek Moncrief will help in that regard as well, former Saskatchewan fighter, other times here in Edmonton. And they're getting the play out of Kai Gray. Just because they're 0-4 doesn't mean all the players aren't playing well enough. There's a lot of guys that are having all-star seasons, and Kai Gray's one of them.
He's got an interception and 12 tackles so far at that corner spot for Edmonton. Brown over the middle, and that is caught for a short pickup, but it's Rhymes. Only had 2 yards last week. He's got more than that right there.
Little slant route, just good sign that I think that Ottawa has got him involved early. I mean, just even if it's the short routes, slant routes, just get some chemistry going between he and Drew Brown.
Cordell Jackson on the tackle. after a 5-yard pickup. 2nd and 5 from the Ottawa 43. Brown looking over the middle, now out to his right, lays one out there, and that's hauled in again. Down to the 45, back to back, as they get Rhymes for the 2nd time on this drive.
Okay, now we're talking. Now we're getting him involved. That's what I'm saying. I mean, you've heard many times, Dustin, in all sports, your best players have got to be your best players. If you want to win games, you've got guys that are big-time free agent signings, whatever it may be. Maybe you brought them through your system, but they're all-star players, and Dominic Rhymes is one of them. We got another one in Edmonton that's off to a real slow start, but clearly Ottawa's got some focus on number 15.
Back-to-back plays. He's working against Cordell Jackson, who's just 5'10". Rhymes is 6'4". Now they'll give it to Hardy. Hardy takes it down inside the 40, and Drew Brown has a 4-for-4 start to this ball game.
Well, let's just give you some perspective on that. Like Dominic Rhymes in his big year in BC, in 4 games had 371 yards. He's got 121 in 4 games this year. You know, and again, we're going to move on from this storyline, but it clearly looks like Ottawa has done their own self-scouting in that regard.
Back on the ground, Armstead pushing ahead. He's got a 1st down as he takes it inside the Edmonton 35.
But I have been watching Drew Brown because, you know, you come off the hit. He took that hit in the Winnipeg game. Take a look at how he was knocked out early in that game after just 6 attempts. There's the hit. There was supplemental discipline for Cranby on that hit. He left, did not return. Dustin Crum finished. He went through the protocols, passed it all early because they had the long week, and took all the first-team reps.
1st and 10 from the Edmonton 34. Brown bouncing around the pocket, now out to his right, down the field, guns it in there at the 30 to Acklin, and that is the 4th different target that Brown had connected with on this opening drive of the ball game.
Yeah, but good movement there. You saw him get out of the pocket. I like the way he kept his eyes downfield once he got out of there, bounced back out. Good hard throw on the scramble rules with Acklin coming back to the ball.
Great play by Acklin, too, to get that left foot down and pick up 5 yards on the play. Got to have 5 more here. 3 options out to his right, looks over the middle, has his running back, broke 1 tackle, now kicking it to the outside and wrapped up there, but Armstead heavily involved as well, and he bounces back up. 1st down, Ottawa.
Boy, I like how Armstead did a little high step here. He's going to come out of the backfield right there, right beside Brown. He'll just sneak up in front of the linebackers and just be ready for the check down. Now there's a little high step with the arm to knock away any tackler's attempt to wrap him up.
Got away from Niles Morgan there before being tracked down by Anderson. Brown now to set up a bit of a screen, and that's pushed ahead. Goslin gets involved. That's his 1st catch, 2nd target of the season.
Well, Drew Brown doesn't really have to change anything. He can get a 1st down without scoring here. Get a new set inside the 7-yard line.
Putting themselves in good spots on 2nd down with about 5 or 6 even just through the air on 1st down.
Absolutely. In different ways, yeah.
Armstead stands in to the right of his quarterback. Got trips at the bottom of your screen. Out to his right. Looks in that direction. Throws in that direction. And that falls incomplete. Jackson against Rhymes again. And Rhymes with 6-7-inch advantage on Jackson. Could not work his way to that ball. 3rd and 6, and they'll settle for a field goal.
Yeah, Dom Rhymes took a second to look at the ref. He didn't really complain about it. He just took a second and looked and thought, you know, was that enough? I think it was good positioning by Cordell Jackson to be inside and underneath that throw so that Rhymes had to go through. Now there might be, see what this stoppage is.
Illegal formation. Too many players in the huddle. Ottawa. It's a 5-yard penalty. Will remain 3rd down.
Red Blacks with an extra body out there. Backs him up. Still just a 25-yard kick for Lewis Ward. 12 of 13 on the year. He's made 9 in a row as the season of the kicker in the Canadian Football League continues. And he smooths that through as Ottawa is on the board first. March down the field. Have to settle for 3. McLeod Bethel-Thompson, his first crack at it when we return on a Sunday at Commonwealth. Welcome back to Edmonton. McLeod Bethel-Thompson still looking for that first win as a member of the Elks. Decent numbers, but can't find a victory anywhere, including in BC.
Well, the numbers are excellent, really. I mean, when you look at his pace is 5,500 yards passing. That's over 300 a game. Well, 306 a game. The Edmonton record is held by Michael Riley at 58-30. So that's the numbers.
Wide open, far side of the field, and he misses Mayala.
But the Elks can't get the win. That's been their issue, and they need some of their best players again to step up. Brett Boyko's going to go one-on-one with Lorenzo Malden. We'll watch that matchup when it happens. Dylan Mitchell's been their leading receiver, but there's a guy on in that list that they've got to get involved, just like Dom Rhymes for the Red Blacks, and that's Gino Lewis.
Gino Lewis has caught just 48% of the passes thrown his direction so far this year. Still looking to try to get on the same page. 2nd and 10, some pressure coming. MBT down the near sideline looking for Mitchell. Too much on that, and it falls incomplete. Mitchell took a quick glance at the official as well, but that'll be a quick 2 and out for Edmonton.
Watch him lean to the outside like he's going to run it out and then just keep it down the field, but Lamont stays right with him. Doesn't bite on that little lean to stay with him on the go route, and is in great position.
So very quick. Tried to get Mitchell, tried to find Mayala. And they both fall incomplete. 3rd and 10 on their own 40. And Jake Julian will come in to kick it away. He's averaging 53 yards a kick so far this season. This one will bounce at the 30. High hop picked up by Dedmon. Flag on the return. And Dedmon takes it just outside the 35. Drew Brown will get the ball back. Started this game 7 of 8 for 61 yards on the first drive for the Red Blacks, who lead 3-0. Well, I don't think it's an exaggeration to say that this stadium was home to the coming out game for Drew Brown.
Yeah, you know, that was the game. He came off the bench, 17-24, 307 yards. Zach Collaros was knocked out of that one early and has had great success against Edmonton when he was a Bomber coming off the bench. So he feels comfortable in this stadium, that's for sure.
Looked good on that first drive. Had the one pass to the end zone that didn't connect. And now they'll hand it off to Armstead. What a nice push there.
Take a look at
Armstead.
Take a look at the numbers for Drew Brown here in Edmonton. Playing against, well, not just in this stadium, but playing against the Elks. And it's a pretty good completion percentage, nice yardage, and touchdown interception. Can't get any better than that. And quarterback efficiency rating, which is a huge math issue. I call it an issue because it's kind of calculates everything. Quarterback efficiency rating. It would take a whole show to figure out exactly and explain exactly how that is calculated, but I can tell you that his efficiency rating against the Elks is through the roof great.
He's done really well.
We'll just sum it up.
Near as high as it could possibly be.
Yeah.
Armstead stopped just short here, about a yard, so they brought Dustin Crum back into the game. Brown will watch on from the sideline, as will his head coach, Bob Dice.
They haven't missed one of these all year.
Crum trying to push ahead, and he gets there. Had to stretch it out a bit to his right, but they've got a first down for the Red Blacks.
Yeah, they're 100% on the efficiency rating for short yardage plays led by Crum. He's a big body. He can make that drive that first guy for a yard or two, and got a rushing average of 5 yards. Now, part of that is because he's played some quarterback and taken off and run with it.
ball works from their own 52. Brown in the pocket, pressure coming. Hit as he throws. Guns it down to the 45 and has another completion back to Jalen Ackland for the second time this afternoon.
You know, we talk about receivers coming back to the ball and that extra step. He's the #2 receiver to the field, and watch Ackland he's going straight across the field, right? But you see how he came back towards his own line of scrimmage by just a yard. That was the separation he needed to get the first.
19 catches now on the season for Ackland. Work from the Edmonton. The ball. Bubbled. Edmonton hops on it. Elliott Brown, Johnny on the spot, picks it up. After Brown lost the handle on it. Bounced off Armstead. Brown is there to take it away.
You know, it's tough to see exactly who's at fault here when you look at Rock Armstead coming across. Was he supposed to get this football? We've seen many times the RPO kind of action, or riding the side where the quarterback holds it in the stomach of the tailback and then pulls it. And somewhere in between, those two players have got to go and sort that out. Because it didn't look like Armstead thought he was getting the ball at all.
Yeah, because he kind of carried on his little,
like he wanted to block or at least go out into a route.
Good field position here for Edmonton. They'll get it into the hands of Kevin Brown. And Brown pushes ahead close to midfield. Now past midfield. Wow, broke a tackle. That is a hard first down from Kevin Brown. Would not be denied.
I would suggest that Kevin Brown is trying to send a message to his offensive coordinator.
Give me the ball more.
Give me the ball more. Look what I can do with the ball when you give it to me.
Wow.
I can make guys miss. I can run over them. I can run between them. I can hit them and be the hammer. Darius Jackson, Chris Jones. There you go. Send a message.
You're going to run like that. Feed him the ball. Just 31 carries coming in to this game. Back again, up the middle. Gets some help from his friends at the line. Busting through. And he's got another first down. He's got to be exhausted after these last two carries.
Well, Kevin Brown hasn't seen over a 50-yard game all season. Again, this is a 1,000-yard guy. Only once has he got into double figures in carries in 4 games. He's been under 10 per game for 3 of them. So another one of the guys, another one of your best players that just hasn't seemed to get the football enough.
4 options out to the left from McLeod Bethel-Thompson. Dumps it off. Javon Leake has it with a little bit of space. And Leake takes it down just outside the Ottawa 20 as they get both running backs involved in this drive.
Yeah, and a different style guy in Javon Leake, who's just going to get out here and get in space. Well, we've seen Javon Leake so many times in the return game as an Argonaut, just how dangerous he was. Now you get him in space, it's like basically like a return from the offense.
On the edge of the red zone is Edmonton. Now they'll pitch it out to Leake again, trying to find some space on the near side. Short pickup against his Ottawa starting defense.
Opposite side of the D-line is Lorenzo Malden, is Bryce Carter. Carter, a master back at James Madison at creating fumbles. Statistically had a bunch of them. Let's see if he can generate one tonight. One change in the linebacking core. Frankie Griffin is out. Davion Taylor, former NFL draft pick, will start there. And the only guy in the secondary with a pick is Alonzo Adad.
2nd and 8. MBT out to his left. Now he's going to take off, looking for that first down marker. Stretches the ball out, and I believe he's got it.
This has been the run drive for Edmonton. I think Kevin Brown sort of set the tone, allowed those big guys up front to get off and run block. And then another run when McLeod Bethel-Thompson didn't like what he saw downfield.
11 trips to the red zone this year for Edmonton. They've scored on 9 of them. That's a clip just shy of 82%. On the ground again. Brown this time at the line of scrimmage. As that contact gets maybe a yard on the play, not much more.
Tackled by Darius Pickett, who is, filling up his stat sheet. Win or lose, Darius Pickett, win or lose when you get off and you look at that stat sheet afterwards. Number 6 has got a bunch of check marks in there.
2nd and 9 for Edmonton. Wide open down to the 5 into the end zone. Arkell Smith, his first CFL touchdown. And the Elks go on top for the first time today.
He's going to start in the backfield and then just release from there. And with everyone dropping off and trying to stop, that's what happens when you have an end zone that's 20 yards deep. Those deep routes, even in the red zone, are so deep that the linebackers have to drop off to get underneath those throws, and Smith just got in front of him and then walked in.
Boris Beatty for one more. And he puts it home, 7-3. Edmonton leads. 8th passing touchdown of the season for McLeod Bethel-Thompson. This one into the hands of Arkell Smith for the first time in the Canadian Football League.
Today, here we go. Hey, every play, every snap. Every time. Every snap, everything y'all got. Come on, man. I need everything y'all got. Everything, man. Let's go.
No matter what happened on the day, we're going to have each other's best. So understand this. When I say you got, when I say who got me, say I got you. You got me. I got you. You got me. I got you. You got me. I got you.
Well, Chris Jones and G. Roy Simon were busy during the bye week going out and getting some veteran voices on the defensive side of the ball, and Sean Oakman and Derek Moncrief. For more on that, let's send it down to Britt Dorr.
And Oakman talked about being a veteran voice and why that's the toughest part about coming to a new team is trying to be that vocal leader, but getting the respect to the guys first. He said this week, I'm also focused on just getting that physical veteran presence out there and being a physical leader. When it comes to Moncrief, also a veteran in this league, the Riders decided not to re-sign him after he spent the last 2 years there, but he's been with the Elks organization before. I asked him earlier, why did you choose to come back here? He said, I've been in this system since I was a rookie, going on 8 years now. I'm familiar with it. I'm familiar with Chris Jones. He said when his agent called him, guys, it was a match made in heaven.
For Edmonton's sake, that's what they hope they're getting in Moncrief and Oakman. Now on the return, Devin far side. A little bit of a burst, takes it out just shy of the 45, and he gets back in the face of Boris Beatty.
With Derek Moncrief, you've got a guy who's got 250 tackles to his name in the Canadian Football League. He's got 8 sacks, 9 picks, so he's a playmaker as well as a leader. And with Oakman, you've got that physical presence. I mean, this guy is physically just a stud. He's
listed at 6'9".
I mean, 6'9". Let's just call it 300. I mean, that's tough to handle physically.
Smack dab in the middle of that defense right now. The Ottawa 44. Brown over the middle, down the field. And that one ruled incomplete, bounced on the way in to Rhymes that time.
And then you add what Brett was talking about, which is their leadership. And to me, that's been a little bit of what's missing. They have some leaders out here in Edmonton, but a little bit of what's missing. Why they've lost 3 games by a field goal. Is that how you finish that fourth quarter, the final 3 minutes of the game. You need that leadership to say, it's okay, we're fine. Let's get it done here.
2nd and 10 for Brown and the Red Blacks. Over the middle again, and that one falls incomplete in behind Justin Hardy, who looked a little bit confused as to where that ball ended up falling. About 5, 6, 7 feet.
Yeah, that's
in behind where he was.
That's surprising. It's surprising because that's been one of his #1 targets to start the season in Justin Hardy.
Beautiful Sunday at Commonwealth Stadium in Edmonton as we wrap week 6 in the CFL. It's the Elks at home with a 7-3 lead over Ottawa. First quarter in the books in Edmonton. The Elks lead 7-3, 36 rushing yards for Edmonton. A couple of them statement carries by Kevin Brown.
Yeah, I thought that first one for a first down, Kevin Brown's got just over 20 yards, but first one for a first down where he made 4 or 5 guys miss. I really think that was to try and send a message to his coaching staff that, you know, if you give me the ball a little bit more, we can do more than just get yards. We can get the 10 yards, but we can also kind of send a message, a physical message, set the tone physically. We're going to attack the defense, not just wait and see what they do and then try to react off of it. And that were the first 2 runs from Kevin Brown. And that drive, that touchdown drive, they had 6 plays, essentially 5 runs, because the swing pass to Javon Leak was an extended run by all imagination. There's Kevin Brown saying, yeah, now just give me 15 more of those. We're good to go.
Burst onto the scene a couple of years ago, put together that 1,000-yard campaign last year. And they've been a pass-heavy offense so far this season, but he's certainly a weapon that they can unlock. Maloney lets this fly. That bounces. And Leak broke 1 tackle. Flag on the play as he carries it back out to the 30. There's a flag back at the 50. And then another flag dropped down by the 20. I think there's 2 separate incidents, but I could be incorrect.
Yeah, I know. I would agree with you. I think there's 2 separate penalties. Look like both maybe against Edmonton here. There's a jump to the step at Javon Leak tonight too, or today. Is it today or is it tonight?
Well, I don't know. I was kind of torn on that because it's
no, it's tonight.
It's like this evening.
Yeah, it's tonight. It's this evening.
It's this evening, but that's wordy. This evening's wordy. I don't know.
Just so bright and nice and sunny.
Feels like an afternoon. But if you're watching
during the return, we have an illegal block. Edmonton number 40. That penalty will be declined. While the ball was in flight, we have holding. Edmonton number 23. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
Olivier Muembi will be the penalty that they accept, and that backs them all the way up, down inside the 10.
Push right in the back. Poor decision. Shackle.
Bob Bethel-Thompson at the edge of his own end zone gets it away. Lunging back to it was Mitchell, I believe. But he could not get there. Would have been enough for a first down, but it falls incomplete. 2nd and 10.
Yeah, pressure always trumps coverage. If you had a choice between real good coverage or real good pressure, pick pressure. Because that quarterback can't get it. Even if you got a wide open receiver, you can't get it. Can't step into the throw. Yeah.
So why not bring everybody every time, right? Why not?
Sometimes that works.
2nd down here. Ottawa brings 5 again. MBT in trouble on the run out to his right. He's one way down the field. And that one falls incomplete just outside the 40. A late flag on the play.
Yeah, it was late, and Adai wants to challenge this. He wants Bob Dice to challenge
immediately.
Yeah, because you know, it was a delayed call, and the official. Now, I'm not saying he was coerced here. That maybe he was standing right
Pass interference. Ottawa, number 38, spotted the foul. First down.
He was standing right in front of the Elks bench, and I think Coach Dice is. You know, this is the intended target. Hang on, just let's see on the route here.
Decided to not challenge it. They snap the ball and Brown pushes it ahead. So a conversation on the far sideline there. No challenge flag ends up being thrown.
I'm surprised by that. I showed you the wide receiver. It was not the wide receiver. It was the inside guy. But here's the end of it right here. Well, I would say that, first of all, that was an uncatchable throw because it was overthrown. But there was some arm action holding.
There was some contact before that ball ended
the arm
up
down,
in the area.
Coach Dice probably got that from his spotter upstairs, that there was some arm action there that could have been.
2nd and 5. That one incomplete. Gittins Jr. was watching on as it didn't seem to be catchable for him. And Edmonton will get some field position after the pass interference. And instead of kicking this away from in their end zone, Jake Julian will likely let it fly around his own 35-yard line. Vontae Dedmon waits back at his 10. Edmonton from their own 44 with a 7-3 lead. Set to kick this away. Got it away just in time. Julian is hit on the play. The flag flies, and Edmonton's going to get this ball back. Dedmon on the return takes it just outside the 20. And McLeod Bethel-Thompson and the offense come back onto the field.
Yep, rough the kicker.
Roughing the kicker, Ottawa, number 6. 15-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
Darius Pickett, the guilty party.
And protect quarterbacks and kickers because they're vulnerable in the position that they're in. And even though you dive, you've got to control where you're going to land. And the angle for Pickett causes the problems because he's going kind of straight at him rather than across his body.
Tell the way he lay there, he knew.
No question.
He knew right away.
No question there was contact, and that's a new set of downs for Edmonton.
Well, big pass interference, then roughing the kicker, and all of a sudden Edmonton's at the 51 of Ottawa. Now they get it back out to Javon Leak, and he picks up about 6 yards on that first down catch.
Another one of the big signings that I think I just noticed a little bit more jump in his step here for 22. Kind of a guy that hasn't really had a breakout game for Edmonton and is such a dangerous weapon, whether he's on teams or on offense.
Stands in to the right of his quarterback here. 2nd and 4 from the Ottawa 45. They'll hand it off to him, and he pushes it ahead, and he should have enough for an Edmonton first down. He does, and the drive stays alive.
Now, speaking of the guys that just have not seen the ball enough, well, there's only one ball. You've got to remind everyone of that. But Gino Lewis still quiet here this evening.
Back on the ground again, this time wrapped up. Tackle made by Aiden John, and it'll be 2nd and long for Edmonton.
And similar to Dom Rhymes, and you know, Gino Lewis right now is on pace for 797 yards, and as a starter in the CFL, that would be a career low. You know, and you know, at 31, he's right in his prime and age-wise. He's a big-time free agent signing in Edmonton. They're paying him good money.
2nd and 9. MBT over the middle towards the end zone. And he hauls it in. Spectacular. Back in the lineup off an injury. And right onto the highlight reel.
There's only one ball. Hergy Muriala gets it this time. It looked like there was either a bust in the offensive scheme or just one of those two ran the wrong route, because you shouldn't have two receivers that close to each other. Javon Leak being a receiver out of the backfield and Muriala, but it worked out for Edmonton.
Extra point. Smoked home. And Edmonton's on top 14-3. McLeod Bethel-Thompson with 2 passing touchdowns here in the first half. This one, the 4th of the season to the first-year Elk. Hergy Muriala, beautiful catch. Well, what an addition to the Edmonton Elks this season that man has been, and what a catch this was.
This was an unreal catch. I mean, I was wondering why McLeod Bethel-Thompson, like every time they throw a touchdown, a quarterback wants to go and congratulate the receivers, but he ran down there really enthusiastically, like he was saying, wow, I thought I overthrew you. Mialo went down and got that ball. That was a huge catch, which turned out to be double coverage, and he split it.
It's another one of the guys when we talk about Eugene Lewis not getting going just yet. Mialo taking some of that workload for sure. This kick all the way down to the back of the end zone. Edmonton on top here, 15-3. Mialo fitting it perfectly. 4 touchdowns in 4 games for that man. American Ninja Warrior is back. New ninjas, new obstacles, new episodes. A new American Ninja Warrior Monday on CTV. You want to see somebody get seriously injured? Let me attempt the first obstacle. That's it. That's it. That's all it would take.
I'd like to illustrate that.
Drew Brown starts on the ground. Big hit there. Elliott Brown lowering the boom. Had that fumble recovery in the first quarter, and a nice hit there on Rock Armstead.
Yeah, it starts to build, doesn't it? Your offense taking advantage of a turnover early for the first touchdown, and then a couple of penalty-aided first downs give them a chance for a second touchdown and a 2-score lead, and Ottawa's trying to just calm things down with Rock Armstead on first down.
Armstead averaging 5.6 yards per carry. That's first among running backs who've had at least 20 carries so far this season. Brown gets it away far side, stumbling and bumbling over there. Cordell Jackson was working against Justin Hardy, and it falls incomplete, and Ottawa is going to have to kick it away again with 9:54 on the clock in the first half.
That's the second time that Drew Brown and Justin Hardy just haven't quite been right. This is a deep out route here. It's underneath coverage. Boy, that's incidental trip there too on the way to the football.
And he kicks it away. Leak waiting. Takes it at the 20. Tried to escape up the middle. Nowhere to go on that one. Pickett the tackle.
Somebody pour me a drink, somebody pour me a smoke. I'm about to get on a bus.
There's been a couple opportunities here for Bob Dice to challenge pass interference. You know, this one when Cordell Jackson goes down here, does he trip Hardy that was on his way to the ball? There was no challenge.
Handoff to Brown goes nowhere. Malden among others into the backfield for a loss.
The only reason I wonder is, you know, when you look at the score and that Edmonton has the momentum in this game so far, that's the type of play, you know, if you get the challenge and you win it, get an extra first down, you're now on Edmonton's side of the field. But and that was right in front of their bench, so he had a better view at it than I did.
We did see an incidental pass interference call in that wild game on Friday in Winnipeg. Here's Geno Lewis, first time today. Lewis pushing ahead, back to just beyond the original line of scrimmage, but Jake Julin will be called upon to kick it back to Ottawa.
Yeah, this is getting crazy now with Geno Lewis, and this is the type of way you can get him the ball. I mean, that's not a quarterback having to read the defense, go through his progressions, and throw it to the open receiver. That's a play designed to throw it to number 17. Now, if you're 2nd and 15, that's difficult to convert.
Flags everywhere and early movement at the line.
The I point, you point thing.
Dice watching on. Long discussion on this one. Of course, Edmonton, 102-yard drive.
Offside, Ottawa, number 42. It's a 5-yard penalty, remains third down.
5 more yards up the field, still third and about 3. So they'll kick it away. Edmonton had that 102-yard drive for that last touchdown that was very penalty aided. Devin waits on. Back on his own 24. Everybody onside this time. Julian gets it away. They'll hang up there. Devin slides over, takes it, bobbles it right out of bounds. Ottawa will start just inside their own 25. Justin Hardy, great season. Quiet evening so far. No catches on 2 targets. Can they activate him? Find out when we return.
Some big-time playmakers in this game. We talked about Justin Hardy, and they're just not quite on the same page yet with Drew Brown. But you look at their numbers, and down at the bottom there, that 30-plus yards. Those are the big plays, and a couple for Mitchell already, and 3 for Hardy this season. You know it's just a matter of time before those guys get on track.
Both of them been targeted twice in this game. Neither of them have a catch so far. Brown near side, and that's at the feet of Armstead and incomplete. Drew Brown started this game 7 of 8, has missed on his last 4.
Yeah, and you know, sometimes I've said many times, you will know this, Dustin, that the defense is allowed to win.
Yeah.
And sometimes the defense can dominate and they can win. I'm not sure that's the case yet in this first half of this game. I think the quarterbacks are, certainly Drew Brown in the last couple series, is just missing his targets.
3 options out to the right. Brown with time over the middle, and that one is caught. First time in the CFL career for Khalil Pimpleton, making his debut. And the little man, 5'8", skied up a bit to get that one.
He got his first catch. It was a little bit of a throw behind, but out of Central Michigan, the rookie in the CFL makes a tough catch look pretty routine.
Nice catch.
Mid-American Conference Special Teams Player of the Year back in 2021 in Central Michigan.
Spent some time around the Detroit Lions and the New York Giants. That one over the middle, broken up. Cordell Jackson knocking it away from Jalen Acklin.
In his pro day, Khalil Pimpleton ran a 4.49. 4.49.
He looks like an exciting player, right? Yeah. I watched some tape on him this morning, and he's a highlight reel. 2nd and 10 from their own 51. Brown has a completion near side. It's Mardner for the first time today, and he's got a first down for Ottawa. A big one that they needed there.
This is an important drive for Ottawa for a couple reasons. Obviously, the scoreboard is the main one, but get Drew Brown in a bit of a rhythm with his receiving corps. That ball, again, slightly behind Marner, but made the catch anyway.
Drew Brown over 100 yards here in the first half. Hasn't been pressured a ton. Now takes a shot deep down the field, and that one broken up, looking for Mardner. And Marcus Lewis was there to get in between him and the ball.
Take a look at this matchup. It's a wide out right out there. Lewis coming up into that press, and he can make contact in 5. Doesn't have to. He's just going to bail and turn and run with them. I think he didn't draw the flag because he looked back at the ball. At the same time, he put his right arm up.
Put his arm up as well, right?
Yeah.
So 2nd and 10 for Brown. Creeping on to Edmonton's side of the field here in Commonwealth. From the Elks 48, 4-man pressure. Brown in the pocket, down the field. Big hit from Purifoy, but Justin Hardy's got it for the first down. His first catch of the game. A big one.
Yeah, and in this drive, you know, you can see that the receiving corps is going to try and help their quarterback. You know, sometimes their quarterback can maybe off a little bit, but the receiving coach says, don't worry about that. Just throw it anywhere close, and I'll come down with it.
Now on the ground, Armstead over a tackler and down inside the 25.
So the accuracy not quite there yet for Drew Brown, but this drive is helping. It'll build confidence. He throws this one again a bit high. Hardy has to go up. He knows he's going to absorb a hit from the middle from Luchez Purifoy. Does that, gets up, tells his quarterback, don't worry, just get it in my area, coach. We're good.
2nd and 4. Ground again. And stops at least a yard, maybe 2 short, depending on the spot. Sean Oakman wrapping up Armstead.
Bob Dice went right down to the marker to take a good look personally on this one. See how close they are. Crum has been excellent in short yardage. His rush average doesn't represent just his short yardage plays, though, so can't go off that. It's a long yard.
It's a long yard. It's almost closer to 2 here, actually. Dustin Crum trying to push ahead. Flag on the play. A couple of them, both sides. Pretty close. Let's see what the flag is, though.
Offside, Edmonton, defensive line. It's 5-yard penalty, first down.
That'll keep the drive alive for Ottawa.
Well, sometimes that sideline official, I think, has laser vision to see that there was an offside there. Either way, I think Crum got the necessary yards, so I don't think, other than giving up an extra 4 because of the penalty, maybe the head was in the neutral zone, but I don't know.
1st and 10 from the Edmonton 15. Dedmon trying to find some space. A few yards on the far side of the field before he's taken down. Close to 3 on the play. Just over 3 minutes remaining here in the 2nd quarter. First carry of the game for Dedmon. Obviously huge in the return game. Getting him involved a little bit in the offense here as well. And there is a injured Elk down on the field on the behind the official there. Let's take a look at one of the best in the game.
Yeah, again, just like Javon Leake for Edmonton, this is a guy that, you know, you kind of make your way on the teams, and then you have your coaching staff has to be careful about overworking.
Yeah.
Because then it takes away from the return game a little bit, but getting guys like Javon Leake or Dedmon into the offense is very important. They're big play guys.
Second and 7 for Ottawa. Had a great drive to start the ball game if you're just joining us. Had to settle for a field goal there. Edmonton has scored 15 in a row since then. Drew Brown trying to change that right here. Flushed out of the pocket, in trouble, escapes for now, then he's taken down. Nick Anderson has his first CFL sack. Stuck with it.
That's just discipline in the pass rush lanes for the Elks front 7. No place to escape.
Nick Anderson with Brown in his sights gets home.
Halftime coming your way. Kevin Brown finally getting into the Elks mix there. Ottawa with a few miscues in the first half. And Dustin, there was supposed to be a dinosaur race, but a couple of guys forgot their costumes. Thanks a lot, Ches Dunny.
Welcome back. to Edmonton.
Are they saying that those guys are dinosaurs?
Well, I'm not going to comment on that one. Lewis Ward, 31 yards, knocks it home.
Well, one of those dinosaurs had a pretty big game against the Edmonton, at the time, Eskimos.
30 years ago today.
This was the day where our Matthew Dunnigan threw for 713 yards in one game. It is a record that still stands today, and I'll tell you what, 713 yards. And we talk about 300.
Yeah.
As if that's a huge game, and it is. 713. And you know what he said after the game? He said, when he was interviewed, he goes, you know, I missed a couple. We could have been well over 800.
Slow start. I think it was a slow start in that game for Matty. You think anybody after was just like, I don't know. I think they got to focus on running the ball a bit more.
I'll tell you one thing. That's a game that you don't want to be a DB in for Edmonton Elks. Well, it was the Eskimos back then. Elks now.
2nd and 5 for the Elks. MBT will bring Leak back in to his left. Now out into the flats. Gets it away. And that's a first down just outside the 50. Back to Mayala for his second catch of the game. The other one, a 39-yard touchdown.
Just loving the production of the Canadian receivers this year. And well, they're just continuing to grow and develop and become stars. Justin McInnes for the BC Lions last night.
Wow, what a week. 6 of the top 10 receivers coming into the week of the Canadian variety. On the ground again. Big push ahead to Leak, but the ball pops out. Redblacks waiting for it. And a battle now for it. Oh, and that'll be a flag as well. Redblacks defense late in the second quarter, coming up with a big play after what looked like a nice run from Javon Leak. That's Leak's second fumble of the season.
Yeah, nothing. The handoff was clean. He had the ball tucked away there, saw contact coming. That was just tackling the football. I think it was Davion Taylor who causes this fumble. Again, he's playing for Frankie Griffin. And he came into the Winnipeg
misconduct
game.
Penalty against Edmonton, number 68. First down.
He came into the game against the Bombers when it was still a one-possession game and had a penalty that, you know, was talked about afterwards, gave the Bombers a chance to kind of kill that game and win it. And he's talked all week about wanting to not be defined by that play, and there's the penalty from Foucault, but Davion Taylor causes that fumble on Leak.
So Ottawa gets this ball back, and the drive will start on the Edmonton 53. Brown dumps it over the top. Armstead's got it, and he'll pick up about 3, maybe 4 yards on that first down catch. Elliott Brown on the tackle for Edmonton.
Ottawa's got to look at clock management here too. Got time for a major.
Trailing by 9. They face a 2nd and 7. Just a 3-man front from Edmonton. Tight window. Got it in there. First down and more. As it's back to Acklin. And that puts Ottawa in a pretty comfortable spot here with 67 seconds on the clock.
That's right. 67 seconds, which is time, as I mentioned, if they manage it correctly. That third receiver inside there, Acklin, number 23, just sits down, and then a little extra work after the catch. But see Drew Brown calling the play at the line of scrimmage now because he's got a chance to score a major here before the half. Take some momentum.
From the Elks 32. Brown down the field again, drops it in just outside the 5. Pimpleton's second catch of the game. And the Redblacks are knocking on the door, wasting no time on this drive here.
Yeah, that's another tough catch that Pimpleton just goes down and gets. I mean, that's protecting the football off the turf. Can't use the turf to support the ball as you're catching it. He just does a nice job. That's back-to-back 2 good catches from him.
Ottawa has had to settle for a couple of field goals so far. First and goal here from the 6. Looking to the corner, heaving it up. Broken up. Jackson and Rhymes going at it again. 2nd and 6.
Rhymes is slow to get up.
Still laying there. Thought at first it was just out of frustration for the play, but Rhymes has not moved. He's still laying face down.
Boy, I tell you, that's another one that's very close to screening. I mean, Cordell Jackson is in great position, and I think he did peek back for a second over his shoulder, but hands up in the face of Dominic Rhymes.
They're looking at Rhymes.
Don't get me wrong.
Near sideline in the end zone.
Don't get me wrong, partner. I'm never advocating for more penalty flags.
No.
Never. That's I've said many times, let the guys determine the outcome of the play. And I think there is but you just see what I mean about that early contact, hands in the face, and he does peek over his shoulder to look back at the ball. Maybe that's what the official saw and thought they both had a chance to get it. And the DB has just as much right to the ball as the receiver.
Rhymes did take a pretty hard spill at the end of that play. Working on his legs and his lower back right now. Let's see one more time here.
Yeah, it was. He kind of landed on his tailbone. And
well, did Jackson come down on top of him too, just with the way his body fell? Nope.
The foot?
Not really.
On his
little bit.
Tailbone, you can see.
I haven't rolled him over just yet. Arm moving there. Try to roll him over. Being extra cautious, obviously, here with Dominic Rhymes. Fellow veteran receiver Gino Lewis down there checking in on him. Dice has his challenge flag out. Extra time to look at this here. And we may see a challenge possibly with 23 seconds remaining here in the quarter. That would move them from
there you go.
2nd and 6 up to.
He just did challenge and
first down at the 1.
So he will challenge that. Meanwhile, this is good news, although the look on his face isn't.
At least he's sitting up.
Yeah, sitting up, moving the arms.
Ottawa's challenging the previous play for pass interference. The play will be reviewed.
We talked earlier about them having maybe a couple of other plays that they could have thrown the flag on. Dice considered it at least on one of them. And now Rhymes is up and slowly walking off the field. Does decide to throw the flag here on this play.
Yeah, I wondered about the hands to the face, and the contact was a little early.
Contact on the left arm probably a little early here, right? Let's see. Right there on that arm.
See, that to me is screening. Unless you've looked back, so you're almost, your hands are in the face area, but you're looking back to the ball to try and make the catch. So we'll see what the command center says about that one.
Command center getting a few looks at it right now. We've seen less in the past actually called defensive pass interference.
Yeah,
right?
again, not advocating for more penalties, but that's what the command center is there for, and that's what the challenges are there for the coaches. It's not walking off great, but he is walking off.
All right, quick look at it for the command center. Let's get the official ruling.
After review, we have pass interference. Edmonton, number 15. The foul happened in goal. It'll be first down Ottawa at the 1 yard line.
Round of boos from the crowd here at Commonwealth, but the correct call, I think, on the challenge.
I think so. I mean, there was a little glance back by Jackson, but it looked like early contact and hands to the face, screening Dominic Grimes.
Time for a Dustin Crum. Crum pushing right up the middle, looking for the end zone. Got it. Touchdown, Ottawa. Right near the end of the opening half, Dustin Crum has his third rushing touchdown of the campaign, and we've got a tight one at Commonwealth.
And it's a good challenge by Bob Dice, you know, and some will say, well, it was only a 4-yard challenge. He won 4 yards there, basically, or 5 yards, because it was on the, 6 yard line.
Yeah.
Ends up on the 1 yard line. But they have been 100% perfect on short yardage with Crum. Puts it on the 1 yard line, and very important chance with the time running out in the half to score the major. I think
pretty
it's
much an automatic touchdown.
Yeah, right? I think it's a great challenge. Yeah.
So a fumble from Javon Leake leads to 7 the other way for Ottawa, and maybe, depending on what you believe in momentum, they've got a lot of it heading into the room here at the half.
Well, and here's what it does too, Dustin. In a team that is 0 for 4 and has lost some really close games, it adds. Guess what happens now? Old self-doubt jumps back in your mind when you're sitting in the locker room going, oh my goodness, guys, are we going to go through this again? We got a 2-score lead and a penalty late in the half puts it on the 1. We give up a major, and now we're in a field goal apart on the scoreboard. So, it's just.
So to avoid same old,
exactly.
This is where you rely on Oakman and Moncrief.
That's exactly why those guys come in and they just walk around the room. And sometimes they don't have to say anything. You just look like it's business as usual. Don't worry about it. We hope Dom Rhymes is okay. He'll be assessed, I'm sure, at halftime.
This bounces. Leak grabs it on the far sideline. Looking for some redemption here. Takes it out just beyond the 35 with 15 seconds remaining in the half. MBT 6 of 10 for 85 yards and 2 touchdowns so far in this ball game. 172 yards on the other side for Drew Brown. And Edmonton will just step up, take a knee, and go to the room with a 2-point lead.
Some of the fans here in Edmonton thought they should maybe just sling one deep. How about Tahirji Mayala?
I mean,
after the splitting the double team in that touchdown catch he had, why not maybe just take a shot? And if you get a penalty, you get another shot. He used to do that all the time. Sometimes, though, that increased the interception totals for quarterbacks. They didn't like it.
Well, and McLeod Thompson comes into the week tied for the most in the league with 5. This was the highlight of the half for Edmonton. 39-yard strike to Tahirji Mayala into essentially double coverage at the end of it. And he lays out, brings it in. 2 catches in the half, 47 yards and a touchdown, and he's now standing by with Britt Dort.
Tahirji, you were a big part of your team putting points on the board in the first half. You have to walk us through how you were able to get your hands on the ball in that end zone there.
Yeah, to me, it's just going out there and doing my job. We got a lot of great guys on this team. An opportunity came in, I made something out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And you broke double coverage on that one. Now, this is a tight ball game. How do you get the momentum back after Ottawa got it here toward the end of the half?
I think for us just to execute, don't give them any chance. We give them a ball at the end right there on the fumble, which turned into points. We can't have that. And I think that if we take out the ball for the second half, we should come out there with a win.
Okay, have a great second half out there.
Thank you very much.
We'll send it back to studio.
Welcome back to Edmonton, where the Elks lead 15-13. Drew Brown, 172 yards on 13 of 20 in the first half, is with Britt Dort.
True, you put some much-needed points on the board right before the half there. So how do you keep that in the second half?
Yeah, we got to just continue to execute. You know, there's been some really good spurts, you know, and then we got to finish in the score zone, you know, get touchdowns instead of field goals, and we should be good.
I got to ask you about one of your guys, Pimpleton, in his CFL debut here. What are your thoughts on him?
Yeah, I mean, I've always been a fan of him. He's a great human being. His energy is infectious. I love being around him, and he's a hell of a football player. You know, and we're lucky to have him. So he's doing his thing. Hopefully we can continue to get him the ball.
Well, we look forward to seeing some action from both of you in the second half here. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Ottawa looking to avoid losing to teams that were winless at the time for the second week in a row. That might factor into it even more. Khalil Pimpleton, 2 big catches in his CFL debut.
In a word for Drew Brown, chill.
Oh, yeah. I don't think there's a more cool cucumber in the league than Brown. Here's a return from Leak, bumps into his own guy, gets taken down just shy of the 35. McLeod Bethel Thompson, a couple touchdown passes in that first half.
Yeah, you heard the panel talk about that, you know, he's got 85 yards passing, but he did take advantage of some miscues by Ottawa. So they turned the ball over, and Edmonton turned that into a major. And then with a couple of penalties that Ottawa had on defense, turned into a second major. That one, a nice catch by Mayala.
He only attempted 10 passes in the first half. Ottawa had the ball for over 17 minutes in that opening half. Gets this one away to his running back, Kevin Brown. Brown looking for the first down. Got it. Takes it outside the 45 and get the ball to that guy as much as you can tonight.
Yeah, and that was another one of the highlights for Edmonton in the first quarter. That was the couple of really nice runs from Brown. So we'll see if they look at that and go right back to him, especially on first downs.
Closing in on 100 yards for the Elks starting quarterback. 3 options out to his wide side right here. Takes the handoff on the run. Dumps it off. And it is Mayala with his 3rd catch of the ball game. Gets just more than half of what they need on first down.
You know, but we talked about it off the top. And again, a team that's looking for their first win has got to figure out how to utilize their best players. And, you know, if you were to take the roster of the Edmonton Elks right now and say, name me their best players, you think number 87 would be up there high in that ranking?
Oh, he'd be near the top.
Exactly. 1 catch.
Mitchell and Giddens are both top 10 in the CFL in receiving yards.
So, you know, I know we talk about, well, you just said Kevin Brown needs the ball and Gino Lewis needs the ball, but, you know, and I'm wondering if there are fans that are wondering if Gino Lewis is being double teamed or nothing. We'll show you as this game goes on. Gino Lewis is open.
Just 1 catch for 7 yards.
It's starting to get to him. It's starting to get to him. You can see the body language. Yeah. And he's trying. We had a good talk with him this week, and he's trying to be a great team guy for sure. But
Jake Julian hammers it away. Devin Waits takes it at the 1.
We'll let that go in.
Trying to find some space. Nice tackle down the field there. He almost had something cooking, didn't he? Omunden there to make sure he didn't. Drew Brown and Ottawa trailing 15-13. We'll get the ball for the first time here in the second half on a Sunday evening in Commonwealth.
You know, I think Bob Dice might be talking to Dedmon saying, if you catch the ball on a punt and you're standing on your own goal line or inside your 5, maybe let that one go in at this point of the game. Now, it might not hurt them, but every little thing matters, and when you add them up, that's how you can add up those stacked good decisions that turn into wins. See what happens here. If they go 2 and out, Edmonton gets the ball in good field position.
Drive starts on their own 12. That one incomplete, looking to go back to Pimpleton. And he could not hang on that time.
That was the danger zone. That was linebacker. Nick Anderson separating the ball from the receiver, if he was even there. It was like, went through his hands, but rocked him.
Pimpleton gets popped. 2nd and 10 from their own 12. Brown gets this one away quickly. That's going to be a first down. Wasted no time, and look who it is, Dominique Grimes.
I was going to say, that's big for 2 reasons. It gets him a first down and gets a chance to get out of the hole, but also Dominic Grimes is back.
Yes.
He was injured in the first half, walked off very gingerly to the sideline, and looked like it might be his tailbone or his back, but he looks fine and he's good to go. Good news.
Fresh set of downs for Ottawa. The breathing room here now from their own 25. They'll hand it off. Armstead pushing it ahead, takes it outside the 30, and a little bit further for good measure, and that'll be a 2nd and manageable situation for Brown and the Ottawa O.
Yeah, and you play complementary football, so if Ottawa gets another first down, and even if they get close to midfield and have to kick it, that bails out their teammate on special teams, Dedman, for a decision to not give up a single and take the field position. Had they got 2 and out, that decision looms large.
They go back to their running back here. Armstead waits. Now he takes it, tries to find some space, and he does. First down for the Red Blacks as he picks his way through that Edmonton defense.
Well, Rock Armstrong got his first 100-yard game there last game versus Winnipeg. He was close in the first matchup against the Bombers. He was getting close to that 100-yard mark. Got the first one in the CFL in their last game and was patient on that run.
Noah Curtis was there to finish him off, but not before he got his team a fresh set of downs. Up to their own 38 now. 3 to the left, 3 to the right for Brown. Looks down the far side of the field, turning around. Oh, baby! Pimpleton holds it in. Flag on the play. And is that an offensive pass interference?
Well, it's down by the 2 that were engaged in the play, and I believe it was Kai Gray and Pimpleton. And is it coming back? He's outside at the wideout spot. Kai Gray, I mentioned off the top of the show, great position, looking back at the ball. Did he get a
offensive pass interference? Ottawa, number 83. It's a 10-yard penalty. Will repeat first down.
So he gave a little push on Kai Gray's back to get that separation to go get the ball. He knew it right away when he got it and saw the flag. You can see by his body language and just shaking his head. There's the push.
Oh, yeah.
He realized it right away. First down. Oh, yeah, okay.
Nice catch.
Yeah, it really was. That's 3 now.
Brown over the middle, wide open. Back to the original line of scrimmage into the hands of Justin Hardy for his 2nd catch of the game.
Another guy who took a hit in their last game, and I asked Coach Dice this week, I said, is Justin Hardy okay? Because that didn't look good. He's slow to get back to the huddle on that last one. He said, no, he's fine. He was practicing all week.
These 2 teams will go at it again on Friday in the nation's capital. Brown down the field, that one broken up just outside the 50. Cordell Jackson makes the play against Jalen Ackland.
Yeah, clearly in the Ottawa game plan is to try and put, it doesn't really matter the receiver, it doesn't seem to matter, but to go after that matchup with Cordell Jackson. He's been involved in a ton of these throws, and in fact, Ackland got up here thinking he was interfered with. He went and signaled to his coach, go ahead and throw the flag there, but no challenge.
This kick spirals in, taken in the chest of Leak just outside the 20. Picks his way for a return of about 10 yards. Gino Lewis, is it time to get him going? Just 1 catch for 7 yards for Big 87.
there's a bunch of Edmonton fans wondering if Gino Lewis, maybe he's being double covered. Maybe Gino Lewis is drawing a whole bunch of attention from defensive backs. These are second down plays that we just ISO'd 87 to see if he is getting open or is getting special attention. One time they're talking to his coaching staff on the sideline and then walking off, and the frustration starting to get to him. And in a lot of ways, I don't blame him. I mean, he's not drawing extra coverage, and he is open.
Just one target for him so far in this game. That one to Giddens for a first down. That's his first catch of the ball game.
Well, and you know, when we talked to Gino about it, he actually mentioned the chemistry that McLeod Bethel Thompson and Curly Giddens has.
Played together in the past.
Yeah, and he said, I don't want to mess with that. You know, I don't want to mess with their chemistry. And, you know, if we start winning, you know, but he said, it's hard. It's...
Well, winning will help everything. Wide open, far side. Ayala's got it. And he's got a first down. Almost looked exactly like the play that they opened the game with. That went for an incompletion.
Now, I did lead Gino on that question because I said, now, if you guys were 4-0 and you were off to a slow start, he goes, oh, well, different story.
Yeah.
You know, because he just wants to contribute.
Well, you're looking for solutions, and he thinks he can be a solution.
Absolutely.
To the O.
And I agree with
start.
him. And I agree with him. He can be.
Bob Bethel Thompson looking to throw again, and he has another completion down to the 40. And that one, Dylan Mitchell gets the job done.
Yeah, nice accurate throw here from Bethel Thompson. Because he had a little pressure, a little play action here, and late pressure coming. He has to get up and sort of jump throws that. I don't think that's a word, but he just lets it go, and the accuracy's there.
Stringing together some completions here, and now down to the Ottawa 40. Stays in the pocket, in a little bit of trouble. Flag on the play. Two flags coming out in different spots on the field. Pickett eventually there to finish it off. Be a couple of infractions here.
Pickett is coming off the edge up top. There's a hold there on his head, which
just
is
full blown.
Seen a lot of different holding calls.
Like one of those polite holds on the head.
And,
it's sort of like, I'm going to guide you
right
with
on
your
the head.
skull here.
Not sure what the second flag is.
Well, the second flag came out on the near sideline here.
Illegal contact, Ottawa, number 9. Unnecessary roughness, Edmonton, number 86. We will repeat first down.
All right, so they will repeat first down, and they're walking it back 5. So it'll be 1st and 15 from the Ottawa 45. Bob Dice watching on as his defense tries to go to work here midway through the third quarter of a 2-point ball game. 3 options to the right for Bob Bethel Thompson. Little draw to Kevin Brown. Brown back just shy of the original line of scrimmage. Sets up about a 2nd and 10.
Good open field tackle there. I think that was Santos Knox. Help from the safety, Alonzo Adai, but just kind of facing up the running back. He's hitting the hole. That's a tough guy to bring down. We saw those in those first two runs he had, and this open field tackle there.
From about here, you'd be looking at a 47-yarder for Boris Beatty. MBT with different thoughts. Over the middle, has a completion down to the 35. Back to Gittens again, but that'll set up a field goal attempt for Edmonton as they try to push the lead to 5.
I'll tell you what, Gino Lewis, watch this. This is a second down play, and you know, okay, you say, well, he's covered there. And his reaction is, oh man, like, because he's a guy that even if he is covered, give him 5 or 6 shots a game.
Yeah, one-on-one, is he really covered?
Yeah,
right?
No, most of the time not. Of course, receivers always think that, so we got to take that in.
Forrest Beatty from 42, and he increases the lead by 3. Edmonton on top, 18-13, looking for their first win of the season. Edmonton Elks just 2-26 at home in their last 28. One of those 2 wins against Ottawa, who they faced here in the first half of a home-and-home. Brown steps back, now heaves it down the field, and that one incomplete.
He felt like he got pulled down. I'll go show you the impact right here, number 91. Sean Open brings to the table. A little push, he got back in the backfield and maybe rushed the throw a little bit. And at the other end, Dom Rhymes, I think, believed that he was... Well, that was push and shove.
Yeah, both ways. Him and Jackson meeting again. 4-man pressure, now 5. Brown gets it away, wide open on the far side. Pimpleton, he's got some room to roll. He'll take it down to the 40. How about this burst for Pimpleton? He's going to go to the 10, and he's gone. Come on. A house call in his CFL debut. Khalil Pimpleton explodes to the end zone.
Take a bow, 83. Wow. There was a little example of some flat-out top-end speed.
Woo! I'm sweating watching him take off.
Crossing route, turns the corner, and then kicks it into high gear, and look at him go. I mean, wow.
Welcome to the Canadian Football League, Khalil Pimpleton.
I think he just bettered his 40 time at 4.49.
Get a clock on him there. And Ottawa goes up by 1. They will go for 2. Looking for that 3-point cushion. Drew Brown with 2 options out to the right. Armstead waits. Brown fakes it to him, wide open, far side. They got it. It's Rhymes, and he delivers the visitors a 3-point cushion.
You take the time, you listen to guys like Drew Brown talk about that. Pimpleton's such a good person and studying, and you heard the guys at halftime talk about receivers like Wilson and Winnipeg that are taking the time to learn from the veterans, and Pimpleton's making a debut here, having himself a game. But showed a great example of a tremendous speed on this one. That was just outrunning angles. Like, you set an angle as a defensive back from the backside, you should cut off a receiver right around the 10-5-yard line. He outran all those angles.
3 catches for 124 yards in his debut. Coming in chunks, 28 yards, 26 yards, and then 70 to the house. And now Edmonton trails. Last time they trailed this game 3-0. On the return, he's trying to spin away, eventually going down is Javon Leake, but decent field position nonetheless.
Yes. Show you the angles I'm talking about. Pimpleton's going to come from this side on the crossing route on that touchdown. And as he goes here, he's on the crosser. Go ahead and run it, guys. Drew Brown's going to hit him. And let me show you the angles. Okay, now it's the defender's turn. Okay, stop it here. The angles are here. You cut him off here, you cut him off here, you got a chance to get him. He outran those angles.
They all on the far side. Great tackle over there. I died a safety. And a short pickup of about 3 on first down.
Can't coach speed. You either have it or you don't.
He has it, confirmed. Confirmed. Another exciting receiver bursting onto the scene here in the Canadian Football League. Mentioned earlier, spent some time around Detroit and the Giants. MBT over the middle. Gino Lewis has it down to the 50, trying to stay on his feet, and eventually 3 Red Blacks will take him down. But his biggest play of the ball game goes for a first down as Edmonton looks for a response.
Well, there you go. He's got that little slant route. Playing off. Strong hands. 3 guys bring him down.
DeAndre Lamont was hanging on for dear life there, waiting for help. Eventually it came. First and 10 from the Ottawa 50. Handing it off to Brown, trying to get away. He will not. Taken down. Pickett came in to help out after Webb initially managed to wrap him up. 2nd and long for Edmonton.
Webb wants to make a play after that illegal contact he got back in the last series.
Kevin Brown, 35 yards on 8 carries, just a yard there. 2nd and 9. Passing situation from McLeod. Bethel Thompson. Brown will clear out empty backfield. Red Blacks bring 5. MBT hangs in there, has a completion to Brown. Pops out. They'll say incomplete after the contact, and that'll be 3rd and 9. He would have had a lot of work to do there to pick up the first down with where he caught that football.
Yeah, I think Santos Knots was closing quickly. Just see if he has possession. That was very close. You know, that was a hit by Damon Webb, and it was close because it looked like he had it in both hands, but that was in slow motion, so it distorts the judgment call. Officials called it right away and called it incomplete.
Jake Julian waits and kicks it from his own 50, trying to drop one in here, and that will fly out of bounds inside the 10, I believe.
Still walking. There you go.
At the 10. Well, Ottawa REDBLACKS fans watching out east, gotta be excited. Might have a future CFL superstar in your hands. Pimpleton, 70-yard touchdown to put his team on top in his CFL debut.
Are you kidding me? The end zone! Right on the play! Wilson! Are you kidding me? Making the stand back. End zone! Touchdown! As Justin McInnes adds to his impressive total so far this young season.
Suits, all I can say, it's been one of those weekends in the Canadian Football League. How about these guys?
Man, I like 13 for 201 for the youngster and Wilson, and Justin McInnes just having a year. I mean, he was targeted last night 14 times, caught all 14 for 243 yards. You heard the panel talk about it at halftime. We might have found another one here at Pimpleton.
Well,
I don't know if he'll get to 200, but with
76
that speed,
away.
you never know.
76 away. Can you imagine that? 2 in 1 week. Good enough. Ty Gray on the tackle on the near side against Hardy. And they got about 6.
Well, we had a great game last night in BC, and I know you guys did. I mean, watching that game out in Winnipeg and Calgary, wow. That had everything.
Outstanding football game. That was one. I don't smoke, but I needed a cigarette after that game. Sure, it would have been gross.
Yeah, don't start that.
2nd and 4 for Ottawa. From their own 15, 3-point cushion. Looking to go to 3 and 2 on the year, and that is completed to the 20. Just enough for a first down. Back to Hardy once again from Drew Brown, who's closing in on a 300-yard game.
That's the 2 choices. He has Rock Armstead outside and Justin Hardy inside. Push to the flat right there, and depending on what the linebackers do in reaction, you got right at the marker. A throw right to the marker. Morgan makes a tackle, but not until the first down is gained.
Time ticking down here in the 3rd quarter. Brown squeeze right pressure coming from Elliott Brown. Intercepted just inside the 30 on the far side of the field. Cordell Jackson went and got it, and Edmonton's defense takes it away.
Elliott Brown is going to force a throw that Drew Brown wants back. He gets the pressure. Remember, pressure over coverage. Watch number 41 off the edge, off the top. He's going to get the pressure on Drew Brown. He forces him wide. Watch him step up. Force him to throw as he's running to his right, off his back feet, and it's way, way short on this throw, right to the guy they've been working on in Cordell Jackson, and he gets himself a big play.
That's his first CFL interception. Bob Ethel-Thompson with the ball that's caught, dropped, and now they'll say it was incomplete. Went to his fullback, Tanner Green.
Davion Taylor with another play, and you know, this is a guy that was a third-round draft pick for Philadelphia Eagles in the NFL, and you know, he got kind of thrown in the fire when Frankie Griffin got hurt. But here's another look at the interception. Big play by 15, and he joins the group. The secondary with a pick.
MBT looking to the end zone. This is the intended target, Curly Gittens Jr. And that will bring up third down, as Edmonton cannot take advantage of the Cordell Jackson interception. Buckle up. Fourth quarter just around the corner, and we've got a 3-point football game in Edmonton. Welcome back to Commonwealth, where the Ottawa REDBLACKS on the road, 0-2 so far this year away from home, leading Edmonton 21-18 as we enter the fourth quarter.
Well, turnovers could become an issue here. I mean, the one mistake by Drew Brown, although he's only 11 yards away from a season high in passing yards, and of course with Pimpleton and his speed, he's got a new weapon to look at, and they do have Dominic Rhymes back on the field in this fourth quarter. So we'll see if Drew Brown can keep moving things and moving the ball and bounce back from that pick, although his defense bailed him out.
They did hold them to a field goal attempt, which is how we will start the fourth quarter of this ball game. Boris Beatty comes out for what will be a 31-yard attempt from just inside the left hash.
It's a fakeable moment.
Oof, I'll lose my mind. I think Beatty's going to knock this up, and he misses it, pulls it wide left. Wow, that didn't hit anything on the way up, did it? From 31 yards, Boris Beatty has to settle for the single, and that does not bode well for Edmonton to set the tone here in the fourth. Like we mentioned, the two teams that wrap up week 6 will start week 7, first half of Friday Night Football doubleheader. Bombers and Riders to wrap up that Friday Night Football double dip. And then the Argos and the Ticats and the Lions and the Stampeders. Real nice week 7 skid.
We got some rivalries down there now. We got the Hamilton-Toronto rivalry, the Winnipeg-Saskatchewan rivalry, and these two teams play each other again to start it out.
Armstead wrapped up after a pickup of about 1, maybe 2 when it's all said and done. Niles Morgan on the tackle.
We went in at halftime, and I was mentioning the old brutal self-doubt that jumps into the minds of a team that is really desperate to get in the win column and has been so close, and now we're going into the fourth quarter with their kicker missing a chance to tie the game. I guarantee you they're all fighting it right now.
31-yarder pulled wide left by Beatty. 2nd and 8 for Brown. All the way down the field. Big shot. Harvey has it at the 15. Now to the 10. Pushing towards the end zone. Reaching out. Is he there? Touchdown, Ottawa. They'll give it to him. him. And Drew Brown strikes in spectacular fashion as he goes deep and drops a dagger into the heart of Edmonton.
Justin Hardy had to take some time to first get that far down the field, and second, make a couple of moves. One on the safety, Luchez Purifoy. So what I'm saying there is the protection was excellent for Drew Brown. That gave Hardy a chance to...
Previous plays being automatically reviewed by command center.
All they're doing is reviewing whether or not he crossed the goal line, not whether or not that was a completion and a good play. That was... Looked like... may not have given him the touchdown. They might put it on the 1 yard line, but they're reviewing that right now. I'm talking about the route, and to take that kind of time. Drew Brown stood in that pocket with a great throwing lane. He could see Hardy right down the field and gave him a chance to run his route and really bait Purifoy to get in behind him.
And if they don't give it to him, it'll be Dustin Crum time for sure. As what a swing of events here. A missed field goal that could have possibly tied the game. And it's either a touchdown or they'll have a real good crack at it from the one. And Ottawa leading 27-19.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
Drew Brown, 349 yards. That is a new career high as he's having himself another game against Edmonton.
Yeah, interesting.
The Elks as a franchise have seen enough of Drew Brown, and they got to go against him in 5 days again as Ward knocks that one through. And the lead now sits at 9. Early in the fourth quarter, Hardy, third touchdown of the season as he battles past Purifoy, find the end zone. Justin Hardy, 5 catches now for 110 yards and a 68-yard touchdown.
Great protection for Drew Brown to step into this throw. And in a moment, I'll show you the pattern that Justin Hardy ran on Luchez Purifoy. Just brilliant, but he needed time to do it. And that's why the protection's so important for Drew Brown to launch that one.
2 100-yard receivers in this game for Brown. Leak takes it at the 15. Leak out to the 35 before he is stopped. Let's take another look at this.
I'm going to show you from a long way up. Long way up. You can see the route here from Justin Hardy. So he's going to bend outside, and he gets the hips here of Luchez Purifoy open to the outside and then crosses his face. Now that takes a little bit of time when you're that far down the field. That's why without protection, there's no way they can complete that deep one. But what a play and what a route from Hardy.
Bethel Thompson. Ayala, first down Edmonton as they start the drive by moving the chains.
Well, it's got to be sense of urgency now, and it's not just the scoreboard, just in and out of the huddle, keep it moving. They're facing a very similar scenario, the Elks.
Up to the 49. Bethel Thompson in trouble, taken down. 2 members of the Red Blacks defense get there.
Did he drop the ball?
The ball popped loose. He might have fallen on it. He was under pressure here, wasn't he?
And it was only 4-man pressure with Brown in 2 to help Chip, so they actually had him outnumbered by 2, but that pocket did collapse. Lorenzo Malden was the first guy in there, and I think he did drop it, but landed right on top of it.
2nd and 17 now from McLeod Bethel Thompson. 3 options to his wide side right. Red Blacks bring 4. MBT on the run. Looking down the field. In trouble again. Taken down again. Red Blacks defense smothering Edmonton. Santos Knox gets there. His first sack of the season.
And this crowd is getting very restless, and in a lot of ways you can't blame them. And I don't know if you can hear it at home, but the "We Want Trey," and again, throughout this 4-game losing streak, this quarterback has averaged over 300 yards. However, they can't find a way to win, and the "We Want Trey" chants are beginning.
Julian waiting to kick this away. If Ottawa can put together any sort of drive that will eat up some time on the clock, they put themselves in a real nice spot to pick up their first road win of the year. Trey Ford on the sideline, grabbing the tablet, giving it to his starting quarterback. Take a look at it together here. Deadman waits on his own 20. Julian, bit of a shorter kick this time. That's going to bounce. That's actually Harris back there to return the kick this time. And he's got a little bit of space on the far side. Tobias Harris trying to get inside the 50. Julian is there to force him out of bounds, as Ottawa gets instant field position from Tobias Harris. MBT, a rough ride, courtesy Santos Knox. It's been a busy weekend for superfan Chris Tomavachuk, as he's checked off box number 3 on the trip across the league to set the new world record. Here's a look. Started in Winnipeg, out in Vancouver with you yesterday.
Yeah, it was. It's quite the trip, and he will. The next stop, beginning of next week, will be in Saskatchewan, I believe. So, and all to raise some money for cancer research.
Not all heroes wear capes.
Yes,
some travel to
exactly
9 CFL cities in a small amount of time. Quick completion to Brown, and they'll get 4 yards on first down. Gets Ackland involved once again. Quite the journey.
I love it, man.
He's been a good luck charm for receivers so far. I think that's probably a fair statement.
Which is why you see the pink too in the uni, the cancer research.
2nd and 6 for Drew Brown on the Edmonton 41. Has another completion wide open. That's his running back. Armstead just too easy at that point.
Yeah, really nice read for Drew Brown, and you know, when second in manageable situations, 2nd and 5 or 6, you got a chance to do that and not worry about your back getting the first down. As soon as you see the linebackers drop back far enough, if it's 2nd and 10, different story. That's a 50-50 play.
Brown, pressure this time on the run, and he heaves it out of bounds on the near sideline with Brown and Curtis busting through.
He didn't have a receiver over on that side that he scrambled. Might have been one real deep, but the way he was running, there's no way he was going to gun it there. But big down here for Edmonton to try and hold it to a field goal at least. And save some precious time.
Save some time.
They've got some
12.
Yeah, got some work to go.
Brown looking for more. Out into the flat. Rhymes. And Rhymes is taken down by Lewis. And that will bring up 3rd down, and that will bring Lewis Ward out onto the field. Edmonton led this game 15-3. And they now trail 28-19 with more points pending.
Well, it keeps it at 2 possession. That's the one thing with this field goal. A major would have bumped it higher, and so mission accomplished for the defense, but work to do here.
35 yards for Ward, and not a problem at that end of the field. He said 12 in a row. Cloud Bethel Thompson's going to need 2 touchdowns to snap the losing streak for the Elks. Welcome back to Commonwealth Stadium, where all eyes are on McLeod Bethel Thompson right now. He's 16 of 23 for 176 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, but his team has been outscored 28-4 since they had a 15-3 lead. Gino Lewis, 2 catches in the ball game. 4 options out to the wide side right for McLeod Bethel Thompson. Looks to the left, looking for Gino, reaches out with one hand. Oh, wow. Oh my goodness. That was ridiculous.
That's what happens when you give him a shot.
Hauls it in. I didn't think he had a chance.
And he was covered. Just setting it deep. He's covered. He tips it to himself and brings it in. The spark the Edmonton Elks need. Look at this. That's what he does.
What a catch from Eugene Lewis. Up to the Ottawa 30.
To him again.
Now over the middle, back to Lewis. Bounces on one tackle, trying to push past another. Gets it to the 30, and it'll be 2nd and 4.
One more time. Back to this catch. Look at this. Webb over the top. Lamont underneath, trying to get him and distract him. One hand, tips it to himself and brings it in. That's no matter if he's covered.
2nd and 4. Bethel Thompson goes to Kevin Brown. Brown around one tackle, trying to push ahead. He's got a first down thanks to the 2nd and 3rd effort where he caught that ball. He was going to be way short, but he works his way ahead and keeps his offense on the field.
Exactly what it was. It was just great 2nd effort to, take a throw here on the check down that was 8 yards short of a first down. Battle, battle, battle. That extra 2 yards, the difference.
There's a member of the Red Blacks down on one knee just outside the 40, and it is Malden. So not just any member of the Red Blacks, one of the most important on the defensive side of the ball. A couple sacks already this season coming into the game here tonight.
Yeah, quiet night. We haven't really talked a lot about him, although sometimes when he takes the chip block, in other words, he goes one-on-one with one of the tackles, and the running back in Kevin Brown will help on him, which is, in a lot of ways a double team. This time it's one-on-one because it was a swing pass on the check down to Kevin Brown, but not sure what happened there. Looks like he'll be okay, though.
1st and 10 from the Ottawa 25. They'll flip it in behind. Gittins Jr. Gittins takes it down to the 10, and he's got a first down. And Edmonton officially in business, trailing by 12 with 6:34 on the clock.
In business and can run the offense and don't need to worry about rushing it or. Great block downfield by his receivers, including Gino Lewis, who took the corner, Sherrod Baltimore, and just took him one-on-one, kept him wide.
Cloud Bethel Thompson fakes to his running back. Now he's in trouble. Flag on the play as he is hit just inside the 15. And is that going to be a hold against Edmonton? Oh, the other way.
First down.
Roughing the passer.
Yeah, it was a high hit, and it was, it's not an intentional hit. It's just Cleon Lang going up the field, and he's going to come up the field here and watch his, I believe it's his right hand that's going to hit the head and face mask area of McLeod Bethel Thompson right there.
Ah, yeah.
Just enough to twist his head around. Anything above the shoulders is going to get called as roughing the passer.
Prukop into the game for Edmonton. Working from the Ottawa 3. Prukop keeps it. Walks into the end zone. Touchdown, Edmonton. 5th of the season for Prukop. the Elks give themselves a chance here with less than 6 to play.
The spark came from Eugene Lewis. The big catch in this drive to get it started, but it is finished, and you could see that just a little bit more jump in the step of the entire offense. Guys up front blocking, a couple of big runs by Kevin Brown, finishes with a touchdown to Prukop. Best players got to be your best players to get the W.
And now they'll go for 2. MBT into the flat. Gittens Jr.'s got it. And it is a 4-point ball game. One of those situations where they just had to put together a touchdown drive, and they managed to do it.
Well, it worked out. I'm not sure you know, the 2-point convert here, but it worked out. Just being 4 and 5 is still a major, but this is how it started. Best players got to be your best players. Give them a chance to go up there and make a play. Get everybody excited. It was a 6-play drive, ended in a touchdown over 2 minutes, but the key play for so many reasons was the one-handed catch by Eugene Lewis.
Nice play there by Gittens as well. And then Prukop walks it in. Back to Gittens for 2 more. 31-27. And Drew Brown and the REDBLACKS, who've been playing very well in the second half. 18 points themselves, about to get the ball back. Lewis has 4 catches and all 4 targets sent his way for 60 yards. Near side to the 25 and no further. That's Pimpleton out there. I'm wondering if Dedman, remember we talked about Dedman getting a little bit banged up?
Yeah, he did on that one.
Tobias Harris returned the last punt, and now Pimpleton's out there to return the kick.
Yeah, he took a hit, was looking with the, or talking to the training staff for Ottawa. And we'll see if the momentum carries over to the defensive side of the ball for the Edmonton Elks. They're trying to get the crowd engaged. Make it a little tougher on Drew Brown to make any audibles at the line of scrimmage.
Brown looking to put together a drive to seal this away. They'll start on the ground, and they take a loss. Moncrief, as he returns to the Elks, comes up with a big tackle.
They're pushing self-doubt down. They're jamming self-doubt, getting it out of their head. That's what the veterans are brought in for. Moncrief, Sean Oatman brought in. Make plays down the stretch. Make plays when we need them to keep the momentum, and that's a nice reaction to get to Armstead.
2nd and 12. The crowd here at Commonwealth trying to get behind this defense. 3 options to the right for Brown. Looks to the left. Now throws over the middle, and he's got a completion in midfield and more. Dominic Grimes down to the 40, to the 30. Taken down at the 20, and Drew Brown does it again. That'll put him over 400 yards passing. And a silencer here at Commonwealth from Drew Brown.
Partner, when we opened the show, I was wondering which all-star receiver was going to have a breakout game here tonight. Gino Lewis or Dominic Grimes? Maybe both. Maybe both.
3 Ottawa receivers with 100-yard games. Drew Brown's at 433. Weren't even sure if he would start at the beginning of the week.
That's the Dominic Grimes we're used to seeing.
1st and 10 from the Edmonton 20. And Oakman is there to shut it down. Well, if they hold them to a field goal, they're only down
1 possession.
7.
Yep, still 1
Slade's
possession.
going for 2 with 3:24 on the clock. But that clock ticks, and Drew Brown has just been outstanding once again here today. Needs 12 more to keep this drive alive. Brown down the field. Huge hit. Oh, Purifoy hammers Rhymes, but he held on to it. What a catch by Dominic Rhymes, who left this game with an injury in the first half and has come back with an absolute bang. Oh, punishment from Purifoy. Doesn't work. Rhymes gets it done.
Coming into this game, Dominic Rhymes in 4 starts for Ottawa had 10 catches for 121 yards. That one of the toughest, as he took a big hit. He's got 131 yards tonight in 1 game. That's what we're used to seeing from Dominic Rhymes.
He's taking some punishment too. That body is taking a beating in this game, but he just keeps on ticking.
Purifoy looks a little bit like Rocky Balboa, and you know, when he was,
which one?
With the first one, when they were looking at each other around their trainers. How is he still coming back after that hit? Apollo Creed and Rocky Balboa.
Clock ticks from the Edmonton 5. Armstead tried to push his way through, stays on his feet, and eventually is taken down. They drove him right into Moncrief, who takes the tackle.
There's a couple of plays by Moncrief trying to lead by example to the Elks, trying to look for their first win of the season. He's on the right side of your screen.
Ottawa 8 for 10 on second down here in the second half. Edmonton's got to hold them right here.
Got to,
or it's over. Brown takes the snap, hands it off, trying to push ahead, and the Elks defense holds. And that'll bring up third down for Ottawa. From about the 3.
And the field goal team is not hustled onto the field automatically.
Now they will. Waiting for the spot, maybe?
Yeah, maybe the spot. But, you know, I know that would be tempting to make it a 2-possession game with a major. But you got to take the points here if you're Bob Dice. That 3 yards that they're looking at to score here with 1 down to do it is like 3 miles right now. Take the points.
Well, they just ran it twice.
And you make it a 7-point game. Give your defense a chance to make a play or two when McLeod Bethel-Thompson gets his shot to try and tie it.
Oakman brought in to stabilize the middle of that defensive line. Done well. Ward out to knock home one more. This one, chip shot from 10, and he puts it through. So with 2 minutes and 10 seconds on the clock, Ottawa leads 34-27.
Well, he's finally back, and I know there's a lot of football fans across the country that watched him in BC a couple of years ago with a monster season, CFL All-Star season. Dominic Rhymes, you're right, he's taken some punishment tonight. That was, by the way, PI, which put him on the 1-yard line. That's where he got injured. Came back in the second half, has taken some big hits, but got back on track. 10 targets, caught 7 of them, 131 yards, and that's 66-yarder. Huge. Not only to the catch to move the field position to get the points, but also taking time off the clock away from McLeod Bethel-Thompson. So both these guys starting to make an impact in this game tonight. I mean, only a few catches and shy of 100 yards for Geno Lewis, but that big one did give him a huge spark, and now they're just a 1-possession game.
Game's not over. I feel like he'll get a few more targets
on
this final drive, which could use some good field position to help themselves out. They've got Leak back there ready to return. Is there a game-tying drive somewhere in the cards here to wrap up just a sensational week of CFL action? Comes down to Cobb. Cobb, near sideline, stays in bounds, pushes it out to about the 40, and that is where Edmonton will go to work.
The Elks take a look at their average margin of defeat. That's hard to live with.
4.3 points per loss.
That is hard to live with.
Margin of victory across the league as tight as it's ever been so far this season. This drive starts on the 41. McLeod Bethel-Thompson far side, and he finds Dylan Mitchell, forced out of bounds by Baltimore, and it'll be second and manageable for Edmonton. 3-down territory the whole way here.
Yep, but lots of time. 2 minutes, you can almost get another possession. Your defense got a 2-0, but certainly they don't want to go there. The Elks just want to drive this ball and run their offense.
2nd and 4. Another quick completion midfield this time, and it's Gittins who hauled that one in. 1st down.
The bind for Ottawa and the Red Blacks on defense is not to be too soft here. You know, like just play your regular defense and not just give them these little curls, because there's lots of time to do that all the way down the field.
And BT in the pocket over the middle. Mayala's got it pushed back after making the catch. And they'll spot him just inside the 50, so a short pickup on 1st down there.
The tendency is for DBs here to loosen up. They don't want to get beat in behind them.
Elks offense working quickly here. McLeod Bethel-Thompson this time out to Brown, got turned around, and he's going to be pushing ahead to the 50, and that'll bring up 3rd down and about 5 or 6 for Edmonton.
Okay, D coordinator, what are you thinking here? Ottawa Red Blacks, pressure, full pressure, see if they can pick it up, hit the hot route, or sit back, rush 3, and try to cover down every receiver. If I'm Edmonton, I'm finding 87 and throwing it up to him.
Comes down to this for the Elks, trailing by 7. Far side, and right at the 1st down marker, it's Gino Lewis, and the drive stays alive.
McLeod Bethel-Thompson had the same idea. Game on the line, 3rd down. I saw him make that one-hander. I think I could be safe to throw him out in the out right there at the 1st down marker.
Darius Pickett, the Ottawa defense, looking for a game-winning stop here. Gino Lewis at the top of your screen. That one incomplete. Looking for Arkell Smith. Looked like he might have hesitated for just a moment. 2nd and 10.
Yeah, you can tell by the reaction from McLeod Bethel-Thompson there that he wanted him to just widen a little bit more on that. Kind of hesitated on the curl, and he wanted to run the hook. No, he wanted him to run the curl. He ran the hook.
2nd and 10. Don't have to have it all here, but you'd like to get something. MBT in the pocket, down the field, Gino Lewis again. 1st down, Edmonton, as 87 hauls it in.
He's going to be close to his 100.
He's at 85 after that one.
Oh, I just love how patient he was. Outside look, big time. Veteran move.
On the edge of the red zone. Bethel-Thompson keeps it back to the line of scrimmage.
Okay.
No further.
I'm just going to call that one that call. If it was a called quarterback draw,
It looked like it, didn't it?
yeah, it really did, and I'm just going to call that a head scratcher.
That was a weird one.
If the quarterback is Trey Ford, different story, but that looked like a called quarterback draw.
3 on the line, and then Santos Knox in there as well. Real nice job by Wakefield to kind of blow things up despite being double teamed to start that. It's Malden again, who was down. He was down earlier in this game, and he managed to get up and walk off on his own. Now he's down again with 56 seconds left in the ball game. Could overtime possibly loom here at Commonwealth?
Well, the Elks they can throw it to the end zone from where they are now, so, and not necessarily do they have to do that. They have probably 3 to 4 plays left, maybe 5.
Oh yeah, lots of time.
Yeah, so you don't have to. The Ottawa defense, Jarius Jackson can look at just kind of run his offense, but the Ottawa defense is going to tighten up now in this end of the field. The beginning of this drive, you understand why the DBs loosen up a little bit. They don't want to get beat in one play in behind them from a guy like Lewis or Mitchell. However, or Mayala for that matter, he had one earlier today. So it'll take some time with Malden here, but 4 or 5 plays, you can throw it to the end zone on any of them, but you can still run your offense, get it down. Even the check down pass to Kevin Brown could be big, get you down inside the 10. And then we are staring overtime right between the eyes.
With the way this season has gone for Edmonton, I almost feel like they score quickly, then Lewis Ward walks it off with a field goal in the final 30 seconds of the game. That's just how the campaign has gone for this Edmonton team, losing close game after close game after close game. Here's a look at the back-to-back walk-off losses. That one, 39-36. Haralahu, and the former Edmonton football kicker, Sean White, who's just on an all-time tear. He put that one through, 24-21. Sean White's hit 39 in a row, 7 of them last night in that game you did.
Did you see that shot at Gino Lewis? The difference between that shot and the shot on him in the last 4 games is that he's missing a piano that was right on his back.
It's gone.
It's gone. The piano is off.
I have to think he'll be in the mix in the final 56 seconds, 2nd and 11, as Malden is gingerly walking off the field. Some sort of core issue there for 94. Defensive coordinator of Ottawa. What can he draw up here? Bear Miles. Edmonton has put themselves in similar spots and have not been able to finish. Here they're just looking to try to come away with a tie for now. MBT in trouble, gets it away, and Kevin Brown had stopped watching his quarterback dance around, and that'll bring up 3rd down, needing 11.
Aiden John came in for Malden there, and just that 4-down pressure, the check down, as we mentioned, the check down is there, but it was just too late because the pressure didn't allow McLeod Bethel-Thompson to find the angle he wanted to get it to him.
3rd down, 11 yards to keep this game alive. MBT in the pocket, looks towards the end zone for Gino, and he's taken down a flag. A flag on the play as Eugene Lewis in double coverage draws the flag. Oh boy.
That also
pass interference. Ottawa, number 9. Foul occurred in goal. 1st down at the 1-yard line.
Bob Dice has his challenge flag in his hand. Let's get a look.
Well, he might as well not leave the game with it in his pocket, so he's going to try. But I think over the head is the reason that Webb gets called here. He's got not the backhand, but the left hand. That one's on his face mask well before the ball arrives. The left hand comes across too.
Dice is going to have them take another look at it.
The ruling on the field, a pass interference. The play will be reviewed.
looked like pass interference, though, didn't it?
Yeah, well, no, I think so too. I mean, Webb is saying he swatted at the ball. I'm sure is going to be his argument that he was swatting to the ball as it was arriving. But you know, and that's the threat that Geno Lewis is. I mean, even if he's covered, we talked about that he will most of the time come up with the catch, but he also panics DBs. I mean, you got 87 there, you think you got him handled, and then you panic when the ball arrives.
Yeah, it looked like some contact to the back of the head.
It was early and it was across the head. I think they're going to leave this call. Yeah, they're going to leave this call.
All right, Geno Lewis drawing some coverage and a flag. Let's get the ruling.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. First down, Edmonton.
So the ball will be placed at the 1. Prukop will come into the game. Already has a short yardage touchdown in the half. This to make it a 1-point ball game. Dakota Prukop pushing through. Is he there? No.
Just saying no. Back to
do it again.
Line. Now this may sound weird because it's now second down, but it might be better that Edmonton scores on second down. You have to see the ball cross the plane.
Prukop will take another crack at it here. Edmonton got to find a way to push it in. That time he lunges ahead. Looks like he's there. They're going to rule him down again.
Now down to one play. Now it's like, is the knee down? Yeah, the knee went down before the ball crossed. That's, again, the correct call.
What a job by the Ottawa defense. And now it comes down to this. 3rd and goal. From the Ottawa 1.
Last yard is the toughest.
Prukop, he's been so good so far this season. Can he find his way through this time in a critical moment, trying to stretch it out, and he's in. Touchdown, Edmonton. 8 seconds on the clock, and they'll have a chance to tie it.
Well, they tried twice just to take the quarterback sneak. Take it right in behind center, Mark Corte, and just push. Didn't work on the first down. Didn't work on the second down. I thought losing some time on the clock took away maybe the opportunity if you get a big return from Ottawa for a field goal to win it with a few seconds left. On 3rd down, he goes wide and finds the end zone.
Beatty with the extra point.
Just a little bit big.
Missed from 31.
Yes.
Earlier in this quarter. Of course, this extra point straight away from 32 to tie the ball game. He knocks it up, and he knocks it home. And overtime just around the corner at Commonwealth.
They needed it most. They did go to one of their best players. And finally, I think a lot of Edmonton fans will be saying the big drive down by 7, 1-possession game, and engaging Geno Lewis. A catch on 3rd down to keep the drive alive. Then the big catch over the middle where he takes a big hit. Hangs on, gets down into plus territory, deep into plus territory. Then in the end zone on 3rd down, draws the penalty flag, puts it on the 1-yard line. So getting 87 going in this 4th quarter has been the difference. And we're staring at overtime.
Full marks to the Red Blacks defense at the goal line there.
No question.
I mean, 2 big stops to push them to the brink. And now just 8 seconds remaining. These 2 teams play again on Friday. I told you. Whatever they told you. Drew Brown, a 451-yard passing game. Not enough to win it in regulation. Henry Burris has that franchise record. 504 with overtime coming up. There's a chance Drew Brown makes a chance at the Red Blacks record. Beatty steps up, drills this one Bounces all the way down.
That's big. That's big.
Inside the 15. But the flag does fly.
Legal kick out of bounds.
I'll tell you what, that's
Edmonton, number 14.
That's good
First
field
down,
position.
Ottawa.
That's one chunk play and maybe time. I mean, watch the reaction from Chris Jones. I mean, he wants a knuckler, I'm sure, but not an out-of-bounds knuckler.
Oh, you cannot have that in that situation. This ball will be placed at the 50.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You're looking at now a 15-yard throw on an out route, and you maybe have 1 second left for a 47-yard, 50-yard field goal attempt.
That was essentially the one thing that you could not do. This ball is placed at the 50 with 8 seconds on the clock. Drew Brown's still got thoughts about a regulation victory. Gonna look over the middle, down the field, he's got it! Oh my goodness! How about that? 2 seconds on the clock! It's Pimpleton again! And Lewis Ward is gonna have a chance to win it!
Unbelievable.
Can you believe this?
Watch Chris Jones' reaction.
Are they going to lose?
Because of a kickoff out of bounds.
Holy smokes. Ottawa with a chance to win it. Zeros on the clock. Lewis Ward steps up from 38 to break the heart of the Elks. Ward right down the middle. Got it. Walk-off winner for Ward. And Ottawa gets the job done. Edmonton falls to 0-5 in unbelievable fashion at Commonwealth. How did that happen?
Well, I'll tell you how it happened. You just can't kick it out of bounds. Now, listen, that deep ball throw over the middle to get it in field goal range, yes, it's defense, yes, it's a team game, but every one of those small little mistakes, they found a way again. Wow.
You can't make this up.
No, I mean, 8 seconds left. You know, I know the strategy would be kick a knuckler so they don't catch it clean on a kickoff and get a big return. But a big return takes time, too. If you get a big return, you might lose time and you don't have a chance to kick the field goal.
That's a good point.
But there is, a strategy in knuckleballing it down the field, but you got to keep it between the stripes because the penalty for kicking it out of bounds is too drastic. It's a 50-yard start for the Ottawa offense. Beatty knows it. You never in an ultimate team game want to put it on one guy, but boy, they find ways. It's unbelievable.
Third game in a row that ends in a walk-off loss for Edmonton, who falls to 0-5.
And how about Drew Brown, though? Stood in the pocket, hit that deep ball to get it in field goal range. Let's take nothing away from that.
480 yards for Drew Brown. What a game. What a finish. Ottawa on the road wins for the first time this season away from home. Drew Brown. I think you have yourself a quarterback in Ottawa, 480 yards. And the Elks, they just can't find a way, losing on a field goal again. Copa America, final action coming up. Good night from Commonwealth.